Marvel Rivals' first season ever is finally out, and I gotta say guys, it's pretty fantastic. So what we're going to be doing in today's video is we're going to be going through everything new in the new season. That too goes for the 2 new characters, the hero changes, the new map, the new game mode, the battle pass, and even possibly some leaks at the end? Who knows? And kind of get my thoughts and opinions about this season and see some changes in things I don't actually like, but same things that I actually really like. I'm really happy that the Marvel Rivals is going that direction. This is kind of my first video on this channel covering Marvel Rivals. I want this channel to be kind of like a Fortnite and Marvel Rivals themed channel. So if you guys want to see more of this content, please hit the like button, subscribe button. Go watch some of my Fortnite videos if you guys are curious and you guys care about that stuff. But yeah, so let's kind of let's get into everything new about the new season and let's just have some fun. So let's get into it. I only think it's fitting to start with the new heroes. We're gonna start off with Reed Richards, the new duelist, or should I say Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic overall is a very solid duelist. I don't think he's gonna be super dominant, at least not yet, but I think he's a lot of fun. Be able to basically grab onto people, fling around your teammates and enemies, basically becoming a tank at the same time as being a duelist is pretty fun. I think his kit is super unique, and it really is something that I haven't really played with quite a bit. The times I have played with it, I have a lot of fun flinging around like that. I honestly have a lot of fun playing this character. Now, do I think that he's one of the weakest characters and one of the worst characters to go in the main, or do I think he's the best characters? No. If I was going to put him like on a tier list, for example, I'll probably put him at like a B. I think there's just a lot of potential for this character. I'm really curious in the next couple of days if Reed will basically go from one of the B tier characters, if he'll go up or down, because he could go either way. I can see people figuring out how to counter him and he will go push down all just like to a C or to a D, but I can also see him get pushed all the way up to an S if people actually know how to learn how to play him in very wacky ways. He kind of reminds me a little bit of like Black Panther or like a Spider-Man or a Wolverine, where he's really kind of hard to learn in order to get really good value out of the character, out of Reed. But I think once people actually start learning about him and start learning how to play him, I think he probably will climb up and actually be pretty high in the rankings. And I think he'll be picked a lot more. Also, that ability that he can basically tank any ability that's good toward him, any ult or anything, is insane. The amount of times I played Reed and I basically have taken an ult and just thrown it back at somebody without a single piece of damage at me is insane. That ability is probably the biggest thing in this guy's kit, is just his survivability. Overall, very solid character. I'm really interested to see how he does in the future of this season, see if he climbs up or he goes down. If I was going to pick, I think he's probably going to go up a little bit in terms of rankings. Now let's move to the second character that was added. This is the Invisible Woman, also known as Sue Storm, which I'll just usually call her Sue. Sue is a very, very good strategist. Honestly, I think she's on the level of somebody like Mantis or a Luna. Not only they have really good healing with the really cool boomerang effect that can not only do damage but also heal, so it's a really cool kind of ability to have. But also her shields are very useful, especially during ults, and especially since if you have like tanks that are in like a very, very sticky situation, they're super nice to like throw up and basically help protect somebody very quickly if you're not able to get to them. Her push and pull ability is honestly really cool and is really, really useful, especially in those little choke corners where if you have like a bunch of people piled up on each other, it's really cool to push and pull people out of the way. I really like that. That's a lot of fun. Her little bubble thing that she basically does that slows people is really good against like a tank. The amount of times I've used this thing like on a Thor, for example, and the Thor's basically just kind of stuck there, can't really do much, and they just become a big open target. She's really good for that. And then, of course, we got her ult. Her ult is extremely good. The amount of times I've had in games where like there's 2 different of these like invisible ults that turn people invisible, both Sue Storms actually decide to activate them at the same time, and they overlap each other, and it gets super confusing at times. It can completely throw off people in a game. It's very, very, very interesting. Now, for the future of Sue Storm, do I think that she's going to be a high-ranking hero? I do think so. Currently, I think that she's like an A to an S tier hero currently, and I think that the more and more people play her, I think she's going to still get that around that same range and maybe even higher since people learn how to play her more. Overall, I think Sue is a very fantastic skin, all right? Overall, I think Sue is a fantastic character to add to the game. I think that she was designed very well, and I have a lot of fun playing her. She's definitely very, very solid, and they did a very good job in adding Sue Storm to the game. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the new map Midtown, my thoughts on it. And I think Midtown is a fantastic map. It's probably my favorite map out of all the maps that we played so far. I love having to go into the Fantastic Four building and kind of traveling our way to the Avengers Tower, seeing all different references to like Daredevil, Wilson Fisk, Moon Knight, etc., etc. I really like how this map looks. I like the tight corners, the little weaves and little ins and outs. I love going through the subway. I just like this map a lot. Visually, it's a fantastic map. I like just the type of corners that you have to go through, the type of streets you have to move through. It's a fun escort map, and I really do appreciate this map. I think this is actually one of my favorite maps, probably that they've released so far. The only issue I have, and this is just an overall Marvel Rivals issue, is that I think my main issue is that sometimes it feels like we get the same maps multiple times. There'll be times where I can play basically Asgard 3 different times, and then play Clintar 2 times, and then play Midtown once, and then go back to play like Tokyo twice, and then go back to play Asgard 3 different times or 4 times in a row. I wish that they could basically kind of variety it a little bit more. Overall, Midtown's a fantastic mode. Very, very good. And just real quick, let's talk about the new game mode, Doom Match. Now, Doom Match is basically kind of like a 1v1 free-for-all where everyone can just go at each other in this one massive map. And I will say, this map here, the Sanctum Sanctorum, is actually one of my favorites. I wish it was not just in these mode, and I wish we were able to like have it in other modes, but I love having the portals around where you can basically go through the regular streets of New York, but also go inside the Sanctum Sanctorum and kind of see all the different little rooms and little Easter eggs throughout the whole map. It makes it a lot more interesting when you're actually having these 1v1 fights with a bunch of people where you're basically diving around at these portals and trying to find each other. There's like little hidden portals with secret rooms. It makes it more interesting than just like simple like one wide battleground. It makes it a lot more dynamic, a lot more interesting. And I really do like this. Very, very good map. Very, very solid. Good job. Now we're going to go through some of the changes to some of the heroes, some of the buffs and some of the nerfs. I'm not going to be reading through each one of the changes. I will be leaving in a link in the description down below. And if you want, guys, also in the comments, I'll be linking it as well to where it all is, where you guys can read it and everything of the sort. But I'm going to focus on some of the more important ones, the one I think that are really huge for that character. Some of them are just some small changes to make them a little bit more better, but some of them are huge buffs and some of them are huge nerfs. So here we go. The first one I think is very important is Captain America. Captain America did receive some major nerfs where he's a lot faster, can survive with a lot better health, and he can also, his ultimate is a little bit better. I think Cap definitely needed this because Cap to me seemed like he was very good for certain areas, but then also lacked in some areas. This is where he can able to survive longer and actually is a lot faster and a lot more harder to hit. I can tell you by playing a couple rounds of Cap just a couple hours ago, I can tell you he's a lot easier to play and a lot more fun to play, and he's a lot better to survive. He's a lot longer to survive, and I think he's a lot more just a better Vanguard in general. Another one I think is Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is one of the biggest heroes and one of the most strongest heroes in terms of the Vanguards to come out, and he got a little bit of a damage fall off for his Gamma Storm and his Maelstrom of Madness. They also reduced his shield recovery as well, which makes it a little bit better for him. Venom also got some interesting increases and also got buffed quite a bit. They increased his symbiotic bonus health ratio from the cost level to 1 to 1.12, and they also increased the damage from his ultimate from 40 to 50, so his ultimate is a lot stronger, which is good because I always thought his ultimate was a little weak, so they did buff Venom, which is pretty good. Another one I think was very lacking that needed some buffs is Black Widow. Black Widow got an update to her kick to where now has a bigger radius, where she's a lot faster, and her ultimate also became a lot faster to use. Hela did get nerfed, but not in the way you think. Her health got moved down a couple, going from 275 to 250. Moon Knight's ultimate got buffed a bit, where now it has a bigger blast radius and does more damage in terms of having more hands now. Psylocke's ultimate actually got reworked a bit to where now it's a lot easier to escape it, which is good. The amount of times I've been stuck and I couldn't do anything about a Psylocke ult is very nice that we can actually get out of it a lot easier. I will say it is still hard to get out of it, but it's a lot better. They did buff Punisher, which is a strange one, but they did reduce his spread of his guns, which is very interesting. Namor also got a small buff where he actually is a lot easier to throw and get hits on. Scarlet Witch surprisingly also got buffed. Storm got buffed also, which is a very good good buff because she is one of the people who needed a buff, where now her projectiles are a lot faster. She has a much increased bolt rush damage, and her ultimate is a lot better as well, but also nerfed at the same time. Squirrel's ultimate also got tweaked to where now her squirrels actually lock onto targets, which is good. In the strategist category, Cloak and Dagger also got buffed a bit, where now you could switch between them a lot faster, and they also got an extra dash in their ultimate. Janathan Lifestar's ultimate got nerfed quite a bit, to where we're now similar to Psylocke, it's a lot easier to get out of the ult. And his health and his healing is also increased quite a bit, to where now he can keep up a little bit better. Again, if you want to read through the specifics, because there's a lot of other characters, I didn't mean that just got some small tweaks that make them slightly better or some small nerfs. I mainly covered the ones I thought were interesting enough for you guys to cover. So if you guys want to see the full patch notes and the full adjustments, go in the description. You can read them all yourself. And I'm curious, what do you guys think about this? Do you think these are good changes? Do you think they're bad? Tell me. Now, last but not least, we'll talk about the Battle Pass. I do think this Battle Pass is extremely good. We have this Loki skin right here, which is probably one of my favorites out of the whole game. I love the look of it. I love the design. It's really cool. It has one of the best MVP highlights ever. Then we also have this Wolverine skin, which is also one of my favorites. Also looks so clean and cool. Kind of gives me kind of more like a Vel Helsing vibes. I don't know if you guys get that. Also, it's a pretty cool MVP. This Magneto skin, I'm a big Magneto fan. This one looks fantastic. Midas vibe. This Rocket Raccoon skin, we've seen it before, but we also get it again this Battle Pass. This Iron Man skin is amazing for all the Iron Man players out there. I think that's going to be probably what you guys are going to be wearing all the time. Definitely one of the best ones in the game. That Scarlet Witch skin is also pretty solid. Probably the weakest one in all of them, but still pretty solid. And the Adam Warlock skin, beautiful. Just beautiful. And then you also got some recolors for Penny and Moon Knight. Also pretty good. Overall, very much a bang for your buck. Fantastic skin. Love it. Good job. More Rivals for making just a really worth your while battle pass. Very, very solid. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys definitely enjoyed this video. I personally am really excited to see what my Rivals cooks up for the next half of the season, since this is only part 1 of the first season. Part 2 seems to be cooking up with the Thing and the Human Torch becoming, so very excited. I'm hopefully going to be making some more Marvel Rivals content on this channel, so if you guys are interested, subscribe, hit the like button, follow, share with your friends, everything of the sort. That'd be greatly appreciated so we can continue to grow this channel. Go watch my Fortnite content if you guys are interested in that stuff. I've been making some interesting Fortnite stuff there, some commentaries and some gameplay, which I'm hopefully to do the same thing with my Rivals, some commentaries and gameplay videos mixed in with the Fortnite ones, as this is supposed to be a collaboration channel with both Fortnite content and more Rivals content just for you guys. So see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace, peace.